HAGER'S Hangout, and what I'm going to do is get some background cool stuff on the wall. Therefore, when I do some future YouTubes, I have something for people to look at besides plain old boring white wall. Well, I have no idea what you would call this, sand color, ivory, I don't know. But I'm going to change the background to some magic boxes that I've been collecting over the years, and why not? So what I'm going to do is there's about 26.25 inch diameter, and I'm going to put a shelf. I'm going to put the shelf here, maybe about here, and then I'm going to make it so the boxes can sit on the shelf. Really easy. Boxes are approximately a little more than 3 inches wide. So I'm going to go ahead and make a 5-inch. Therefore, I have option of moving it forward, moving it back. If I want some poster behind it, it gives me a little bit of flexibility. So I'm going to be using pallets that I've had from work. So I'm going to disassemble them, and I'm going to go ahead and try and make some shelving out of it. First, I'm going to create the shelf. So let me show you what I did. For the main board, I took it out the back of this, but since these boards are so horrible and they disintegrate, every time I try to remove the boards, typically it cracks it destroys the wood entirely. So I just took my saw and chop, and just got some boards that way. The main board is all I needed for the main shelf, and then I'll piece together the small slots for the rest of the shelving. Okay? These pallets are very bad pallets. I did not grab the good pallet. Well, the pallets that were good, I used to build a bed. I wish I filmed that. The added bonus of cutting the slots like this is I don't have to deal with nails and stuff like that, because removing nails can be very inconvenient depending on a few factors. And yes, this is the workbench that I worked on just a couple of videos back, so I'm finally using it. And I had a kitchen chair that was the perfect height. Let's build this. I drew the line for the shelf. And remember, safety first. Eye protection, foot protection, ear protection. Alright, so that's the shelf, and as you can see, this just disintegrates. It's very weak wood. Great for kindling when I get my forge up, though. I will say that. This is sadly the nicer side. So, then what I'm going to do is that was damn near perfect. Alright. Always work. Cut the smallest side off first. Note, I'm not a carpenter. Okay. Ah, shit. Another broken piece. That's why I have surplus, right? So you want to make it nice and flush in the front, no, in the back. Make sure they're long enough. Awesome, that didn't fall apart. Let's do the other side now. I typically only like to put in 2 nails, but since this wood is so bad, I'm putting in 3 on either end, so if it cracks, it'll still stay put for the most part. Alrighty. Cool. Now, I'm going to do a back plate. Alright. Oh, that's just about freaking perfect. Oh, perfect. This shelving is going to have character. Alrighty. Hell, that almost looks like I planned it that way. And just so you know, my plan was to have wood that doesn't completely disintegrate when I work on it. So I'm adapting on the fly, which is always important when you're lifelong lesson. Always be able to adapt and overcome. That's what we said in the Army almost every day. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna fix this a little. I just need to flip it upside down. Alright. Cool. So there's the shelving. Just like that. It's got lots of character. A lot of character. And we're going to put in the room by just putting a few screws in there and we'll be good to go. Alright, now we're putting it up on the wall. You might be like, Hager, how are you going to level a jank shelf where you don't have, well, a level, a bubble level or anything of that sort? Well, let me show you. I've got a pen, I've got a ruler. Let's see how high I want this shelf. I'm going to take my table here. I'm going to want it a few inches above the table. So I want it just so the ruler touches the ground. Then I have equal distance above the ground. Let's go ahead and say 19. 19. Okay, I'm gonna put this away. And I already went on ahead and pre-started the screws, so I'm not fiddling with that. Alrighty. Typically I don't need a chair for stuff like this, but as I told you, I got knee surgery, so, well, adapt and overcome. So that's good. That's good. Come on. Mind you, the method that I use is not very scientific. For what I'm using it for, works just fine. There's a pen. It don't roll. It don't roll. I could use something even more sensitive. It doesn't roll. That's a pretty even shelf. If you ask, for me eyeballing it with that method, that's pretty dang even. If I had a ball bearing, I'd throw a ball bearing up, but I don't, so you just have to take my word for it that that's relatively even. All right. So as you can see, now there's some action. There's something to look in the background, and I'm going to be changing this up periodically. Maybe I'll put some of my World War II tanks. Maybe I might put some different boxes up. Who knows? There's lots of different options that I can do for me to make it so you can enjoy the show a lot more. Thank you for watching. Hager's Hangout. Bye.